Hey, good morning. It's been a little while. Oh, I'm out here in cold November day, getting ready to do my first 5K, and just wanted to talk a little bit about oh, perseverance, um, the whole mindset. Do I have what it takes? Man, your mind can really mess you up when it comes to trying to attempt something. Um, you know, if I say, I mean, like, so yesterday, I kind of been slacking a little bit on my training because I'm not about the cold. And I said to my husband, I was like, why did I sign up for this in November? Well, because sometimes when things are easy, we don't necessarily learn as much. That's what I found in my life. Um, I don't pay attention as much. I tell you, when I'm out in the cold, I'm paying attention to how I'm moving, um, how I'm placing my feet on the ground, um, just how I'm walking. Am I walking with purpose? Am I running to my ability? Not comparing myself to other people. Granted, I did see a lady, out in the cold, and I said to my husband, "Oh, she makes me feel bad." Well, that's on me. What I meant was, I know I'm supposed to be out there doing that. I set a goal for myself, and I'm not keeping it. Um, and I need to be consistent with that. And that's just, I know I have that goal I want to reach. But sometimes there's obstructions that get in the way. There's setbacks that come, even when we are pursuing and we're going and we're trying to get to where we're trying to get, whether that be a place, or whether that be like a physical place, or whether that be a place even mentally. Let's say, like, mentally you're trying to just get somewhere different than where you've been. So we all have different ways that we're trying to get somewhere, even if we're not actually going anywhere. Do you know what I mean? I think you do. Anyway, so I was out yesterday, and I need to do a certain distance for this 5K, 3.25 miles. This is my first. I've not done this before. And I was walking into town, and I was already hurting when I started out. It was cold. This cold weather, it just goes right to my muscles. It goes right to my joints. I'm not as young as I was, my body just doesn't do as well. And these are things I am aware of, and I'm not letting it stop me. And I'm not to a point where I can't, I physically can't do this. It's just, I'm sore. I need to stretch. I need to warm up my muscles. I need to get my blood flowing, get my circulation going. It's very important, and I understand that. And so I got going, and I was jogging, because I'm entering this race, and I'm planning on running the pace I can run. See, when I entered, you're supposed to put in a pace per mile, and I still don't know exactly what that is. I think somebody's going to help me understand that, but it's what's my pace per mile, because everybody has an individual one. You think about it, even at a race, nobody finishes at the exact same time, otherwise you'd have a tie. I guess that has happened, but usually there's like a split second difference at least. But so anyway, everybody is going to be running at their own pace and doing what they can do. And so I'm thinking about that as I'm running yesterday. Some people, if you looked at me, you would have thought, oh, she's not running. That's not running. Well, that's, someone else's perspective. I know for me, it's what I can do to still maintain my breath. And what I'm trying to do is build endurance. I'm not trying to beat out everybody else. I'm not trying to win the race. I just want to finish the race well. And that's all I want to do. I want to be in the race, and I want to be a part of that energy. I can't wait to just be a part of that, because I know it's going to be amazing with thousands of people around me. Just everybody encouraging each other and spurring each other on. Even though it is a race, I have a feeling it's going to feel more like a community of support. And so I'm excited about that. Because, in our world, even if we are doing things together, it seems like there's competition. And it's, my goodness, when we compare ourselves one to another, it's every evil work is there. When it's all about performance, and I can outperform you and you can outperform me, and it's all about competition and comparing. It's just, in certain aspects I understand it, but when it comes to just living our lives and just being who we can be, it just it's a bad feeling in my gut. I really don't like it. And I know what it produces in our lives, and in us, and it doesn't produce life. So I was walking, like I said, and I was feeling the cold. I was feeling like the knives in my throat from the cold wind. That's just what it feels like in my chest, that cold air, and I hate it. I didn't have this with me to help me keep the warmth of my breath. So that helped me today. But I got out. I was almost, my I don't know, my watch cut out on me. It wasn't working quite right. So I had these different hindrances. I had these different setbacks while I was trying to train. Mentally, I was just, I can't do this. I was like, God, I can't do this. This is hard. This hurts. I want to be in the warmth. I don't want to be out in this cold. I don't want to be doing this thing that's uncomfortable to me. But you know what? How am I ever going to know what uncomfortable is if all I ever have is comfort? How am I ever going to know if what it feels like to be uncomfortable? How am I ever going to know? And I'm not saying that we should live in a constant state of suffering. Okay, Christ doesn't call us to do that. I'm not saying that we should. What I'm saying is we should try and look at things as, okay, what is this teaching me? What can I learn from this? Because everything we go through can teach us something. And so just even being out yesterday, this whole I can't mindset, because of what I was feeling, what I was experiencing, I was uncomfortable. I wanted to stop. And I kept going. All the way down to this one street. I turned around and I came all the way back. And I met my goal. But what did that teach me? Well, where was my mindset? I changed my mindset. I can do this. I can keep going. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's cold. Yes, my feet were hurting. My knees were hurting a little bit. My hips were hurting. But I wanted to keep going because there's a lesson. There's a lesson there. I'm still learning it. I'm still learning about the lesson in the uncomfortable things, about normalizing discomfort. Not saying, oh yeah, bring on everything that's going to cause me to suffer, and everything that's going to cause, cause a problem, cause a negative aspect in my life. I'm not saying that. I'm saying is, how are we looking at it? What's our perspective? Because it's all about perspective. Because for other people, it may not have been an issue to do what I was doing. That's okay. You do you, I'll do me. Can we just get back to that? You know, I do what I can do, what my body is able to do. I'm not going to compare myself to anyone else. Yes, there are people that I can learn from, I can glean from, that have proven to me that they know how to sustain, they know how to endure, they know how to persevere because they've actually experienced those things in their life, whether it be personal or career-wise. Yes, I will absolutely. But please don't talk to me about perseverance and endurance and suffering and challenges if you've never been challenged, if you've never had a test of faith, if you've never experienced some of these things that only come from simply living longer on this earth. Our elders, those of us that have gone before us, that have taught us different things. There's wisdom that comes from experience. There's wisdom that comes from having more years on this earth. And I appreciate those people in my life. I think the older we get, we learn that it doesn't help to compare ourselves one to another, and that it really is more about coming together collectively. Because if I'm running this race and I'm concerned about everybody else around me, whether it's the people in front of me, people behind me, people on either side of me, and my outward focus to them is comparison rather than compassion, rather than exhortation, rather than encouragement, that is just going to cause for problems. And the older I get, the more I learn that, the more I see that. I see less and less cooperation. I see more and more competition. I see more and more performance than just connecting and just having a team cooperative mindset. And it's sad. It's sad to see that in our world. But when our world is directing us towards self-centeredness, me first, I want to be better than you, I want to be the best, I want to be the one on display, I want to be the one everyone is following, I want to be the one everyone is looking to. My goodness, there's a lot of the word I in that. There's the letter I in the word pride. It's hard to be proud and selfish when we are being considerate of other people and being compassionate and thinking of others more highly than ourselves. It's hard to be prideful in that way. So can I just encourage you to just do you. Do what you can do today. I'm sharing what I was able to do, my goal. If your goal is simply to be able to go out and love, That's a pretty awesome goal, because we need more than that. We need more of that, just to go out and love. There's also no comparison in love either. So do you. Do what you can do. Don't let your age stop you. Don't let your mindset stop you. Change is one of the hardest things, but taking that first step is the hardest thing to do. Once you do that, it's another step. And even if that first step seems like failure, it's still a step you took. It's still something that you can learn from it. Trust me, I'm learning. I'm learning. Well, that's my encouragement for today. I know it's been a while since I've been on here. Like I said, for all I know, this is just going to be my digital diary. Maybe a few people will pay attention. Regardless, I hope it helps you to get real, feel, and deal. Blessings, Janelle.